everyone, welcome to the video. I'm Amy and I post 3 videos a week. I post a lot of full face first impressions, 3-day foundation wear test, full face one brand, things like that. If that sounds like your kind of content, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on mine. In today's video, we are trying out Uoma by Sharon C, the new line of Uoma Beauty that is now available at Walmart and is a lot more affordable than the line that is at Ulta. Go ahead and like this video and let's get into it. So I ended up getting Fair Lady T1 because I had gotten White Pearl T2N in the original foundation, which has the purple lid, pink lid, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of people were saying that the purple lid and the blue lid are different formulas, and a lot of people liked the blue lid. So I know they are completely different formulas, but I was like, maybe my dry skin will prefer the blue level formula. And it's the summer, and it's honestly not too much darker, but I will swatch them side by side right here for you. So this is the Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation infused with green coffee extract. It says medium to full coverage, available in 6 unique formulations. See? Infused with green coffee extract specifically for fair skin. So I guess just my formula has that. Long-lasting, transfer-proof with a soft, radiant natural finish. This skin perfecting balm is supercharged with skincare ingredients to cater your specific skin needs, making it the perfect makeup skincare hybrid. Vegan, dermatologist tested. Recyclable bottle and pump cap is not recyclable, but this is. Okay, cool. I don't see, the packaging, it is very similar. Obviously, the sizing is a little bit different and the branding is a little bit different. But I could see, like, these live together. Like, the branding of the company is across both sections of the brand. This glass packaging is a little bit more lightweight. I think you can tell by, like, the bottom. See how there's a lot less room before the foundation starts, whereas this one is a little bit more, so it's like a thicker. So this one feels like it feels cheaper than this glass, if that mattered to you. That's like one pump and then like the first little bit that came out of a pump. It's got some run to it, but it is a little bit thicker. Taking the sponge. It has a very, I don't think it's strong because I did have to take like a pretty big whiff. It smells spicy, like very herbal, like spices and herbs. Like, but think like smoke shop, like patchouli and I don't know, hippie kind of smells. I don't know. I feel like the color is pretty good. I don't know if you can tell there, but the color itself, like when I do that, it looks a little bit yellow for me. It's like a really creamy, blurring kind of matte. I wouldn't call this radiant, not on my skin anyway, but it does have like a satin, like a velvet kind of finish because it looks like soft and like thick, but not in a bad way, you know? Like plumping, but without the dew, right? And look at the coverage. That's pretty good. I would call this medium to full for real. Obviously I can still see my sunspots, but it took that redness and was like, bye. It looks pretty nice. It is a little bit heavy or like dry, kind of more visible in this area. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't like the brush side. I feel like it's a lot harder to blend with the brush. Like, I don't know if you can see here, but it's kind of like gotten to the point where the brush can't do anymore and it's kind of just pushing it towards my lip instead of blending it on my lip. And then I feel like this part is quite heavy with product, whereas like this part's kind of sparse with product. It definitely gave me a little bit more coverage, but I think that's just because the product isn't fully blended out yet. And I think you can tell this side looks a little bit more yellow. So I'm gonna take my sponge and just kind of go over it on a blank area. Oh yeah, the nose is way worse on this side. Yeah. Yeah, it looks really heavy over here. Yeah, I would definitely go with the sponge. This looks way better. Let me zoom you in and I'll show you kind of the difference. Right here, do you see how it's like a legit line? It's like thick, and you can almost see like my pores right here. And then my nose, you see how the crustiness goes up so high here? Like right there. I mean, it still looks like relatively good for like a more matte foundation, but like this side I think looks so much better. Like it looks just like a lot more blended into my skin, and like this still kind of crusty, but a lot less, I feel like, than this side. Do you see? And then there's like a little bit of like going into my fine lines here. But overall, I much prefer this side. I feel like this just looks kind of like soft, whereas this looks a little bit heavy. I don't know if you can tell. I probably won't use a powder on my face, but I'm going to give it a couple more seconds to make that final decision and finish up the rest of my face. And I will come back and talk about my final first impressions, and we will use the gloss and the mascara. All right, I have the rest of my face on, and I really like it. I haven't looked this like matte in a long time. It's such like it's a different thing. All right, first I want to do the lip because my lips are ready for some lip. Okay, this is lip tint and oil. Again, the shade is Softie. The applicator itself is like a purple color. Can you see that? Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead while I've got this. Okay. I don't smell anything, but it does like look like a tinted lip oil. It's a little bit sticky on my fingers. See, I would not have wanted to put this on my eye, I'm sure. Let me put it on my lips and then we'll talk more about it. So it has color payoff available. Let's see if it stays. This is very interesting. It definitely, I don't feel the stick anymore, for sure. Like I guess it was enough stick for it to stick to my lips, but my lips aren't sticking to each other. But I don't like the idea of calling this a gloss. Like it looks like a gloss, feels kind of glossy when you first put it on, but this is a very, very thin, not completely matte as you can see, but it is not like a juicy situation. And it definitely has more color than what I was thinking it would have. I thought it would be kind of like a milky gloss situation where like the color is kind of there, but when you push your lips together, it kind of goes away. Yeah, I definitely agree with stain. Yeah, lip tint. I agree with lip tint. Oil. Yeah, I guess the kind of feeling that it leaves on my lips almost is kind of like after I've eaten fast food, like a greasy, like KFC or something where I've got greasy, but it's not as thin as that. So I guess that would be oil, but it doesn't feel at all like the lip oil from Kosas. And it definitely feels like something, oh, I guess it's kind of sticky to the, it's not sticky on my lips. Like when I'm feeling my lips and I'm moving around, I don't feel it being sticky, but it's kind of sticky to the touch. So I don't know, that's weird because it feels, to me, it feels and looks like a worn in, like I, ate a popsicle or something like that kind of a look. And this color on me, I think it's a good color, but it also makes me look a little dead. Don't I look like I've been out in the cold too long? I don't know. I can't look. It's my lips now. So weird. But any sense of that like glossiness is like barely hanging on. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. I feel like it could be useful in some instances. As of right now, I cannot see myself like reaching for it unless I was looking specifically for this kind of color, which I don't mind this color. It's like my lips, just a little bit more prominent, but it feels gone, but it looks a little bit like it's there, but then it also looks a little bit like it's gone. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. I don't know. Okay, let's go to the mascara. All right. I don't know. For some reason I have kind of high hopes about this, but let me bring myself down a notch. So far I really like the applicator and how much it pulls off. It feels like tight enough when you're pulling it out. But not too tight to where you're like fighting it, if that makes sense. But let's go ahead. Moment. I like it. It feels like very lightweight. It coats all of my lashes. I just don't think it's very volumizing. Yeah. Like I like a mascara that's nice and thick and you can see it on your lashes. It's not just covering your lashes. You've got like chunks and you're moving the chunks around to make it thickest where you want it kind of vibe. So yeah, I feel like it's all right. I feel like it's a nice like everyday kind of mascara for me personally. I prefer a little bit more volume. I will say I do like that it's not too wet coming out. Like I know a lot of mascaras, as soon as you pull it out, it's like so wet and kind of like sticky and then it gets in your eyes. Like it's so much. This is a nice amount like of product. It definitely doesn't feel like dried up and thickened. I might like it more once it thickens up a little bit. But it's dry enough to not get everywhere upon first use, And yeah, I feel like my lips are already like dry and I need to put this back on. So let's put this back on and then. So let me give you my first thoughts on everything right now. The mascara, it's fine. It's nothing that's blowing my mind yet. I feel like it does enough for me. Like I don't feel the need to go reach for another one, but it's not like when I put it on, I'm like, yes, this is the one I want to use every day. It's definitely more subtle than what I like. It's not as volumizing as what I like. I don't think it's lengthening. I just think it nicely coats my lashes. I don't know. You tell me what you think. I don't know if you can see it with what I've got going on here. The lip. I'm very confused about this lip product. It's very unique. Like it is completely unique. Like right now it looks quite shiny, but again, there is no like thickness to it. There's no like gel. It doesn't feel nourishing in any way, shape, or form. It dries down like a stain, but does it really stay that long? I don't know. I'm on the fence about this. I will keep using these as I keep doing my 3-day foundation wear test and try to give you like better thoughts, but I don't know if I'm going to have more thoughts, but we'll see. The foundation, I do think it is a little bit dry, specifically around the nose where it's like you can tell it looks dry, but on the main parts of my cheeks and my forehead, so far I think it looks really nice. It's like a glam kind of foundation for me. I don't have a lot of truly like velvety matte foundations that I like. I typically, when I like a matte foundation, it's like a thinner matte, kind of like the L'Oreal Fresh Wear or the Catrice HD, the one that's in the glass bottle that smells like rich babies. Those are more so the matte foundations that I find myself still liking, even though I have dry skin. I don't typically like a thicker, moussier, velvetier finish foundation, but this one looks really nice. And I will tell you, as of right now, I don't think that these are similar at all. I feel like this one was more like a thin, I gotta try this one again. I haven't tried this one in a while, but I feel like this one was more of that like thin formula, but it wasn't great on my dry skin. This one I do feel like is a little bit better for my dry skin. Is it because of the cap difference or because of the actual foundation difference? Sadly, I cannot tell you that. But I'm gonna do a full 3-day foundation wear test on this. That's what this video is. But during this week, I'll go ahead and try this as well, so that I have a better comparison of the two directly, in case you were like, well, I already have this, do I need to buy this one type thing. But yeah, I have been talking for way too long. Let's get on with the wear test. So here is the end of day 1. The beginning of day 2. The end of day 2. The beginning of day 3. And the end of day 3. Welcome back. Don't mind my getup. I just recently, like my last video was reviewing the ColourPop X Powerpuff Girls collection. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will link it right here for you so you can go check it out. So that is what's on my face right now. But underneath that, I have the Uoma by Sharon C Flawless in Real Life Skin Perfecting Foundation. So let's talk my final thoughts after you just watched my 3-day wear test. I'm going to push the foundation aside really quickly and go to the 2 other products that I tried in the beginning. The mascara. It's a good everyday mascara. Every time that I tried to use it though, I always ended up going over it with one of my other mascaras. I do prefer a more voluminous look. If you like a soft fluttery lash, I think you might like this. But for me, this is kind of like a pass. Like, I don't need it in my collection, you know? The lip gloss, it's such a unique situation. It's definitely a lip gloss or lip oil that turns into kind of a stain. This specific color is a very cool toned color, and I feel like a lot of people actually won't like it. A lot of people would prefer something a little bit more warm, a little bit more peachy maybe. But if you do really like cool tones, like this can make you look kind of like a dead kind of look, but I really like this, especially when this color specifically, especially when I'm wearing like really dusty mauve kind of colors on my eyes. I feel like it just ties together the look really lovely. Or really beautifully. I don't know if that sentence structure worked. But I do really like the color of this. It's very unique to my collection, but the formula is very weird. Like, if you want something that's comfortable on the lips and kind of stains your lips, you'll like this. But for me, I kind of like to have that moisturized, glossy finish at all times. And because it does have that pigment that kind of stains, it's a little bit weird to reapply. It's not like most glosses that kind of fade throughout the day and then to kind of disappear, because this does leave that kind of staining. So the reapplication is a little bit weird. I don't love that. But I do really like the color, and I hope they come out with more lip products and in this color as well, because I would pick that up. So those are my thoughts on that. Now let's talk about the foundation. Funnily enough, during this entire week that I was wear testing this, I was at jury duty every day in the heat, walking around. It's like 80, 90 degrees outside, wearing a mask, around a bunch of strangers, nervous, watery eyes, and I think this did really well. I wore this for some really, really long days. Now, in the beginning, when I first applied this, I did have that kind of like gathering around my nose, and it wasn't necessarily like a dry look. It's just like it wasn't going into that curve of my skin. And it was like a more of a full coverage matte foundation. So the first thing that I tried to do was to cut it with my Smashbox Primerizer, which I love to do because this to me does not really change or ruin a formula, or at least it hasn't yet. It just helps me really like sheer out a formula or make it a little bit more moisturizing. So mixing this, I really liked. It gave me more of like a lighter coverage, because obviously I cut it down. It gave me a lighter coverage and more of an everyday look, but I thought it looked still really beautiful and plumping and nice on the skin, and it still wore really well. But my favorite way to wear this, which I found out on the second day, is with this primer. And you guys know I'm not a primer person. If you didn't know, now you know. Ooh. If I'm going to wear a primer, I typically wear something like the Primerizer that's a little bit more moisturizing, or something like Glow Lust that gives me the glow that the foundation doesn't have. So I do like this primer. If you've seen it in the past, I have liked it. It's just never been enough of something to make me want to wear it. But I found these work out so well together, and I don't like to wear this all over the face with this. So what I like to do for this combination the most is just use this around the nose, because I found that it does help that foundation get into and stick on the curvature of my nose. So I do need to try that with a few other foundations that make that weird situation in my nose. If this can just solve that, bing, bing, boom. Now today, I did not powder at all, so I've got some glow going on, but this is just the combination that I'm wearing, and I have my glowy SPF on underneath. Without the SPF, it is a little bit more matte. I did wear SPF the whole week, by the way. But this is my favorite combination. A little bit of this just around the nose, and this all over. One pump does it for me. You can build it up. It does get a more full coverage than a lot of what's in my collection. So I do really like it. Now, one of the things that I thought about when I purchased this is that I've tried the original, the Uoma Beauty foundation that everybody loved, and I didn't love it. Like, I liked it in some regards, but it just didn't do anything really great for me. So I wanted to, because I knew, like, from the first time that I tried this out, I was like, wow, I kind of really like how this looks. Let me try the other Uoma Beauty foundation again. Now, please note, I did get a purple cap in this one and a blue cap in this one. Apparently, the caps are different formulas based on your skin needs. This one is the fairest. This is the light category, right? Fair Lady, White Pearl. Okay, White Pearl, this is the most pale. This is the next up. Now, this color is probably closer to my skin. But I wanted to try the blue cap formula because Taylor Wynn raved about this foundation, but in the blue cap. Was it Taylor Wynn? I don't know. Maybe it was just everybody, but everybody had a blue cap, so I've always been wondering about the blue caps. And so, aside from the point, I tried this, and I did not do a full wear test. I did not get clips of the end of the day, but I did get clips of the beginning of the day because it just doesn't look great on my skin. Like, and I even tried the hack where I put that kind of just around my nose, but this kind of it just doesn't look good on me. And this is more of a thin formula, whereas this one's a little bit more of a creamy formula, if that makes sense. So if I were to suggest a Uoma Beauty foundation to you, I say get the cheaper one. I think it's better for my skin specifically, and based on the caps. I can't say about the other caps. But I do like this. Even when I haven't been actually wear testing it, like after the wear test was over, I kept reaching for this, and I'm wearing it today, and I really like it. It lasts a really good amount of time. It looks nice on the skin, and what else can I say? Honestly, I feel like I've said plenty, and the wear test will show for itself. But definitely worth the money. Go to Walmart, pick this bad boy up. I mean, if you're into it. If what I've described sounds like your cup of tea, and while you're there, maybe pick up the primer, just in case if you haven't picked that up. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!